Hi, Richie. Just wondering if you could sum up where you think that went wrong tonight.
Yeah, look, I think probably looking at the first innings, we maybe fell 25, 30 runs short of where we'd like to be. We just struggled to sort of get momentum through that middle part of the innings and towards the back end. Also, some credit to the Zimbabwean bowlers. I thought they bowled really well in the conditions, but yeah, we certainly feel we had a few more runs in us in that first innings.
Boundaries an issue through that middle period. I think it was from the 7th to the 17th over. I think you guys didn't find the ropes. That's one glaring thing that stands out. Was that maybe the pitch was a little bit slower than perhaps people thought? Obviously, it was a different pitch today.
Yeah, I mean, it did feel like a slightly sort of stickier surface than we thought. Obviously, our first game under lights, and the other games we've seen, the ball seems to have gone through a lot quicker. But yeah, look, we back ourselves to try and make those adjustments. As I said, we just didn't manage to get that momentum with boundaries or get a couple of big overs towards that back end to really get us a competitive score.
The sticky nature of the pitch, do you think that's why they maybe gave a couple of extra overs to spin and kind of went at you that way during that middle period?
Well, I think it's a plan they normally look to go to, looking at how they sort of go about things. But there's certainly a little bit of purchase there for no real spin, but yeah, some did hold on the surface a little bit. And as I said, I thought they bowled really well and made it difficult for us to find some of those boundary options.
Just how much of a blow is this? I mean, obviously you guys had the success that you had last year, and would have had high hopes this year. But in terms of where you kind of see yourselves now in the ranking of these teams, and obviously they're all very competitive in these qualifiers. What is the fact that you didn't get to qualify? Where do you think that leaves you now in that pecking order?
Well, look, I think we can take a huge amount of confidence and pride from the performances we've put in. Obviously, the last two games have been disappointing not to get over the line. We've played a lot of good cricket throughout this tournament through this week, but unfortunately tonight we didn't manage to click, and on the night Zimbabwe were the better team.
Yeah, just one question. If you evaluated this campaign as a whole, if someone told you you'd hammer the West Indies to start the tournament, not go through to the Super 12, you'd be pretty disappointed. But overall, do you think the team's in a better position this year than they were 12 months ago when you played the World Cup?
Yeah, I think certainly as a team, I think we've come a long way, and we've made a lot of improvements. We took a lot of learnings from the last World Cup. Obviously, it's extremely disappointing not to. We came here to obviously try and get through to the next phase of the World Cup, and it's disappointing that we haven't managed to do that. But as I said, we can certainly take a lot of positives from some of the performances we've put in and the way we've gone out and played our cricket.
I guess this is more hindsight than anything, but given that if you knew then what you know now about the sticky nature of the wicket, perhaps maybe after winning, would you still choose to bat first and essentially set Zimbabwe a target?
Yeah, I think, as I said, looking at the other night games, although the pitch might have been slightly different, it was still a pretty good surface. I think we backed ourselves if we got a good score on the board with the bowlers we have and the way we've been generally throughout in the field. We could defend it, but yeah, unfortunately we just didn't manage to get to that score we wanted.
Cheers, commiserations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Firdousi, you can go ahead.
Hi Richie, I'm just wondering, you guys didn't play a lot between the last World Cup and this one. Exactly how would you describe the impact of that on your game? And without trying to make excuses, do you think it had some impact on maybe the way you performed in this tournament, or do you think playing more would have helped us? And if so, how?
Well, yeah, look, I think you're certainly not going to go wrong by playing more cricket. As I've kind of mentioned before, as a team, the more experience and exposure we get, we're only going to get better. But we certainly came into this tournament prepared and ready for what was ahead of us, and I think we've shown that with some of the performances we've put in and the way we've played the game. As I said, unfortunately we haven't quite nailed it in the last two games when we needed to get over the line, but yeah, moving forward, obviously we want to try and get as many games as we can and keep trying to improve as a team and play at the highest level possible.
And obviously it's a bit soon to ask you this, but you return home soon, I imagine. And what next for Scotland? Like, what would you say the next goals are over the next year or two?
Well, look, we've still got a World Cricket League that we're coming towards the back end of, which is going to be really important for the World Cup qualifiers next summer and 50 over cricket. So obviously, we need to move on from here, and we'll have a tour in December, and 50 over cricket will be our focus for a while, and we'll be looking to try and keep playing well there and hopefully finish top of that table going into the qualifiers.
That you for us?
Yes, thank you.